Meeting. You can see there, we're being recorded. So to start, I'm going to call this meeting to order. Can we have somebody do roll call tonight?
Sure, I'll do it. Let me get in the, okay. Larry's here. Lynette.
Present.
Present.
Yael.
Present.
Me, Trish is not. Julie. Oh, she's here, right? She just muted or something.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay, Julie, I know you're here. Lindy,
I'm here.
Robin,
Here.
and Paul.
Paul is not here.
Paul is not here. Okay, no Trish or Paul. Okay, thank you.
Okay. We
Wait,
called this.
I've got a question. There is somebody here that says Paul's iPhone. Is that somebody else?
It's probably our, one of our first applicants.
Okay.
Okay. We've called this special meeting here on land use to catch up on some projects that got lost in cyberspace somewhere, but we found them and to bring things back up to schedule and stuff. That's why we're having this meeting. That's my announcement for the meeting. We are going to just be discussing these projects. It's not the regular land use meeting that we have public input and
Thank you, Larry.
notices and everything. So first, Bill Hurley of Dos Osos Timberworks and Paul and Melanie Casson. Somebody here,
If
Mr.
somebody
Hurley,
is
I see your name.
Here for that project.
Yeah,
if
William
you
Hurley is here and Paul's iPhone is here. I think those are our
could-
two.
okay, thank you. I got Paul.
Yeah, we're here.
and
If you'd like to give
William
us a
Hurley,
quick
got him. You can unmute
overview of the
yourself.
project.
Hopefully you can hear me.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
good. We were contacted by Travis Belt from SWCA on behalf of the Cassons probably 4 months ago to proceed with the possibility of designing and building a home on the acreage on Cottontail Lane that they had had for several years, and had SWCA run all of the initial environmental constraints from another two-dimensional plot plan on the basis of the work that we've done with SWCA before on homes that had multiple environmental constraints in the same neighborhood.
Okay.
So the Cassons gave me a list of the square footage they wanted and the requirements. The house did, the lot did have potential view sites down Los Osos Valley towards San Luis Obispo, and a fairly decent view site of Morro Bay and the Rock with proper elevations and view sheds from a multiple story structure. The height requirements were possible and doable, and the initial constraints that SWCA had dealt with had properly placed the general site disturbance in a location that the Cassons project could possibly continue and achieve the goals that they require, that they get a decent, reasonably square footage home with proper view sheds taken into consideration.
Okay. Any of the board members have any questions for Mr. Hurley?
I do.
Go ahead, Lynette.
I noticed that you have to remove 3 trees. How many trees do you need to replace those 3 trees with?
I believe it's a 6-to-1 ratio if I need to be corrected. The mitigation can be done either on site or it can be taken care of with a contribution towards mitigation through the minor use process, I believe. In the last project we did, we were able to take care of all of the 6-to-1 ratio of replacement on site. So if we do that in this case, we have the percentages of disturbance and possible relocation of manzanitas could be considered.
Thank you.
Okay, are there any,
I have something. This is Julie Tacker.
Julie? Julie, go ahead.
I noticed that your access is coming off of Bayview Heights Drive, and I know that traffic can
No,
get, no?
no, it comes off Cottontail.
Oh, well then my apologies. I'm fine with that.
I believe, Julie, there's another project in process. That
Okay,
the lower parcel from the Cassins does abut Bayview Heights Drive. I'm not sure if they're using that access, but we're coming directly off Cottontail.
okay, that was my concern. So maybe I have my projects mixed up.
Larry, Lindy Owen is waiting.
Okay, Lindy, go ahead.
Am I muted?
Nope. Well,
You are
now
now.
you are. There, Lindy, now please unmute yourself.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. I was looking over, I'm one of the people in the community that's very concerned about new water use. So I assume that you've gotten all the retrofits required, and but I wanted to question a 3-bedroom house using 147 gallons a day was the estimate. And so for 3 people, that's reasonable. But then I also am interested in septic tanks. And it shows that you have a proposed 40-gallon inflow for the septic tank. So am I missing something? And are they're meeting all the current requirements for new septic tanks?
Well,
That's my question.
basically, Lindy, you have 2 separate processes here. The minor use process is what could be called the coastal commission process or the land use planning process. The technical aspects of the requirements for the building permit are a separate issue from this initial minor use process. The minor use process takes care of the planning issues, the height, community concerns, habitat requirements, mitigation issues. It doesn't specifically address the septic design requirements. We will be moving on to that. If the minor use permit is deemed complete and accepted for processing, then we will move on to the other requirements, which one of them is the specific septic design.
So the 40-gallon intake for the septic was just a standard to start with.
Yeah, it could be. You know, those issues change so much. It's kind of like almost the fresh catch of the day as far as the requirements go for what we have to deal with. The first part of this process is to get the minor use permit secured and permitted, and then we'll roll in to the actual building department requirements, which that septic system is part of. Now, it could be shifted gears if in 6 months the Coastal Commission does something, or 3 months or 4 months. I really don't know. But the two are kind of separate in some ways. They're tied together environmentally, certainly, but the technical process is separate.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah, and again, looking at the 3 trees that were to be removed, I just wondered, and I tried to see contours to see if the house couldn't move slightly down, but I imagine it has to do with the contours of the land and the view shed that they're after. So anyway, that's what I was curious about. Sad to see more water use, but that's life. Thank you.
thanks, Lindy.
Sue?
Sue has her.
Thank you. So Lindy said that she was sure you were doing water offsets, but you didn't answer that. So I'd like to know what you've done as far as water mitigation, and I might as well bring up the whole water issue fact that we are concerned about basically any new water usage these days. So rather than getting into it right now, we can wait and listen to all the public first, but what are you doing as far as water mitigation?
Well, we will have to comply with the Title 19 requirements when we submit for the building permit.
Okay, do you understand that right now the numbers are being recalculated?
Yes.
Okay, and so are you going to wait for the new recalculated numbers?
Well, we're
before
kind of
you-
waiting to see if the minor use permit is deemed complete and acceptable. It's it's a chicken and egg syndrome here.
Oh, okay, well, from my point of view, it's, okay, I hear what you're saying. I
Yeah,
disagree, but that's not where I'm coming from, but that's okay. Go
No,
ahead.
no, I fully believe that, I fully believe that the mitigation, the offset for the water requirements can be achieved, but you got to get to point A before you go to point B.
Well, to get to point B, if you want point A to go through, we need to deal with a water issue. That's where I'm coming from. Never mind, it's okay. Why don't we just hear from everybody else, then we can talk at the end.
Julie has her hand up.
Go ahead, Julie.
Yeah, with regard to what Sue is bringing up and what Bill is responding, whatever is the law at the time the permit is, or the coastal development permit is finalized, will be the condition of approval. So if these numbers get reworked ahead of his final, then he'll have to comply with the new numbers. Otherwise, he would have to comply with what's in place right now. So, I mean, that's the best we can hope for, is that whatever comes out of the new calculation that'll be the standard at the time. So I'm not concerned at all that he's got any more hurdle to hop than anybody else. And Bill's right by saying first he's got to get the application deemed complete, which, that's one of the things that I bring up all the time. When we have these in front of us, sometimes they feel premature because they haven't spelled out all the things we want to know. But it'll be a condition of approval. So whatever the law is at the time is what matters. And I mean, that's all going to go through the Board of Supervisors, how that gets amended, the Title 19 amendment, and you will all have a say in what you want it to say, and then, what the Board of Supervisors finally approves is the end result. That was all.
Okay, thank you. Julie.
Lindy has her hand up.
Yeah.
And Please unmute.
Unmuted, okay. So I guess we could at some point then, going along with what Sue said, or her concerns, is that we could have a condition of approval that it meet the future mitigation, the future Title 19, so that we aren't stuck in how long the county's taken forever to change, to correct this. So, but that could be a way that along the process, we ask that it be stronger mitigation for the water use. Okay, that's all.
Thanks, Lindy.
Any
So,
other questions? Robin, do you see anyone else?
from
on the
the
board?
committee, no, but Patrick has his hand up.
Okay, so now I'm going to open it up to questions from the public. And Patrick, you're on.
I think I lost him. I need to unmute him.
Oh,
Sorry, Patrick. I can't find you. You're there, I know. Yes, found you. Please unmute.
Thank you. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, as Julie knows, the county is nowhere near doing anything with the offset revision. They haven't even hired the consultant yet. So it could be months and months and months, and who knows, maybe even a year before they get around to doing anything. They're not really in a big rush to do it. And the water is an issue. And I think everybody on this committee and Locac also realize that water is an issue for the whole community. We doubt we have enough water. The purveyors doubt that there's enough water right now for sustainability for the current residents that live here now. So I think everybody realizes, and I hope Mr. Hurley doesn't take this personally. It's never meant to be personal, but the Social Sustainability Group will be appealing all these to the Coastal Commission, and that's where they're going to end up. So I would like actually the Land Use Committee to start taking responsibility, as well as Locac, and working with the community as far as these projects as they come before you. You know they're going to be taking water from a basin that is not sustainable at this time. And we need to just stop these things right now. We can't be approving any more water use until we know the basin is sustainable. So, you know, we'll do your work for you if you go ahead and approve this. And of course, you're just an advisory committee, so maybe it won't do anything. But at least the community will know you are trying to work in their best benefit. So that's all I have to say right now. Thank you so much. And again, Mr. Hurley, please don't take it personally.
okay. Are there any other questions or comments from members of the public? If you do, raise your hand, or either on the screen or at the bottom there, there's, we didn't mention it, but there's a place to raise your hand,
Yeah, it's the reaction button.
reaction button. I'm not seeing anybody else wanting to. Did anyone like to make a motion here?
Wait, I'd like to make, before we make a motion, may I make another comment, please? Larry?
Yes, you may, Sue.
Thank you. I just wanted to say that I am a member of Locac, and last month we passed a letter that said that, I don't know if everybody's seen it or not, but it says basically that it's Locac's responsibility to review any new housing and other water use projects where well water or well served letters are available to allow an applicant to build or develop. We understand it's your right to do so, but we are troubled to give an approval to any of these new water projects. Expect us to condition these projects where we can, and project denials will be made with the understanding that the existing building requirements may not address the current basin condition, thereby imperiling the ability of Los Osos to have a water supply adequate for current residents. So I just wanted to say that if we can't condition this motion somehow to say it could be reviewed again when new numbers are in, if they even are accurate. So it would be a question then too, but I would have to vote against it. I just wanted to say that because I feel like I have to represent the people of Los Osos. And yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Again, anyone like on the committee like to make a motion?
Before that, I think the property owner would like to say something. So Paul,
Okay, Paul,
Yeah,
sorry
thank
about
you.
that.
So just I want to clarify a couple of things, and I don't know if it'll make any difference. By the way, thank you for taking the time to go through all of this, especially at 7 o'clock at night. The first part being the residence itself. It's just going to be my wife and myself living in the property or on the property. The second and third rooms were one will probably end up being an office, and the other one is for grandkids to come over. But then the other part is, and I don't know if this makes a difference or not, but we already have water service to the property. Does that make any difference to what's going on? I'm not sure. So I just wanted to point that out, that there already is water service to the property. But in any case, I just want to clarify those two things for you all as you're considering this. So thank you very, very much. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you, Paul. Okay, any member like to make a motion here?
I will.
Julie?
Yes, I'd like to recommend to Locac that they approve this minor use permit, coastal development permit, at its next regular meeting. Obviously, the project will have to comply with the laws at the time of the Board of Supervisors approval.
I'll second.
Okay. So we have a motion here. All in favor, raise your hand.
Hi. Bill, you don't get a vote.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Thought I'd try.
Larry, I'm not sure there's any way to figure out, who's voting, how many votes are what, because I don't even see everybody on the
Okay, let's do a roll call then. I'll call it. For me, Larry Bender, no.
Okay.
Lynette,
Yes,
are in favor?
in favor.
Okay.
Who do you want to call?
Yael,
I'll abstain this time.
abstain. Sue,
I'm going to say no.
I'm not finding a match
Okay.
in the text. Tell me just the first name, or feel free to use the screen.
Julie, and then you're in favor, your
Yes.
motion.
Yes.
Lindy Owen,
I'll have to say no based on our stand on water only. And just to remind the applicant, sometimes we look at houses because when you sell the house, it becomes a much larger situation, or it could. So again, it's nothing personal. This is how most of us have gotten to feeling when we're involved in the water basin issues. So I have to say no, just based on the water.
okay. Robin
no.
and Paul,
He's
Paul
not,
Herschel.
he's not in the, he's
Oh,
not
he's not
present.
here.
He's not present.
Okay. So I have to say at this time, the motion does not pass. Someone was, I hope, counting all that.
Yes, it was 4 noes, 2 yeses, and 1 abstain.
Okay. So I recommend that we pass this on to our general Locac meeting, which is going to be, October 28th at
Okay.
7 p.m. on Zoom,
Yes,
and let Locac decide on this project. Paul and Mr. Hurley, you understand what that means?
The meeting on the 28th is also on a Zoom format?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, this is just the land use committee. And we pass on our recommendations, you know, to Locac, and then Locac makes the final decision.
Okay.
So that's where this will be going.
Well, I have to state that I'm a bit, confused that we complied with every single requirement that a minor use permit sets forward. I don't know what a better job you could do with the digital formats and the viewing and the work from SWCA. So, I mean, I can understand people's concern about water. I've lived here for 42 years, and I lived out here in college during the late 60s. I have a degree in planning, a degree in landscape architecture, and I've been a contractor now for 48 years. I've done over 400 structures in the coastal zone. So, hey, I think I got a little bit of credibility in this category. Now, we followed all the rules. The Castles have paid every bill and listened to me, whether they should have or not, of course. But this was done by the book as far as the requirements right now. Now, I understand the Coastal Commission could come up with a 0% growth rate for Los Osos, and that's their prerogative. I love this town, but the rules are the rules, and we have to follow them. So, I spent the first 5 years on Locac. I chaired multiple meetings in the first 5 years. When it was non-elected, I was appointed with Bud Laurent. So I've been there, I've done that. I think at least this should have been a neutral situation, pending the situations that are coming down the pike between the Coastal Commission and other issues. We do have water problems, but you know what? They're not insolvable. Our sewer treatment plant now is operating on minimum levels of water. So in my opinion, it was designed properly, because there's another 5,000 lots that they designed the darn thing for, and it's working. So yeah, we need more water, or a verifiable water. We need to deal with saltwater intrusion. I understand that. I love this community. I anchored myself here. So, to have kind of a weak-boned, in my opinion, a weak-boned procedure to the next Zoom meeting is just a disappointment. I think it should at least been neutral.
Okay. Thank you for your comment. It's heard. Lindy, go ahead, and then we're going to be moving on. We got some more projects. Go ahead, Lindy.
I was wondering if we can add to the outcome or approval process that based solely on the water situation concerns, that's a denial, because I would agree. It's, I looked at it carefully. It's a full, well done permit, but I didn't approve it only because of the water, not because of the project having failures. So maybe it would be best that we clarify how we feel about the project, and then we can have a denial to support it because of our concern about the basin.
Okay, I think that would be a good point to bring up at the Locac meeting, so that they understand what the concerns are.
Yeah.
And maybe they could put that into their recommendations on it. Okay, so thank you very much.
Larry Sue has her hand up.
Can I just say something real
Sue,
quick, Larry?
unless it's a big
Okay.
comment,
All right, fine. I'm out. Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay, moving on to the next project here. I'm looking for James Mascarella.
Yes, and to unmute when you're on the phone, it's *6.
And Robin, we also have Robert Tomaszewski. I think he was here. He is here. If you could.
Sure. You may unmute.
There you go. Thank you. Thanks for unmuting me. Hello, everyone. Thanks for the meeting tonight. We are here for the Muscarella residence for Jim and his wife. They are residing at this residence. Can I share my screen, or does everybody have a copy of the plan? I don't know if you want to see the plan as I talk through it, or what would you guys like?
You can share your screen if you like.
Okay, I will share my screen. Oops, I am the wrong one. That is not, no, I can't share my screen right now. I've got too many things on my screen right now.
We're seeing it.
Yeah, now I got to get back up. Do you see the plan that's on the screen?
We're seeing A3.
Oh, you are seeing A3. Okay. So
Yes.
what we have here, here's the existing site. There's an existing residence on the site up at the top of the hill and some outbuildings on top. And what we are proposing to do down in this area, which is a sloped area, is to install a horse barn with a pasture and an arena. And then on the original development submittal, we had requested an ADU, but that is not approved in the coastal zone right now. So we have gone back to the county and we are proposing to do a guest house, workshop, and garage in this area. So that it's a 8-horse barn, and with our arena, that's our main thing we would like to do. We are on a sloping hillside coming off of Clark Ranch Road, and don't know. I think that's the project in a nutshell. Anything maybe if Chris or Jim would like to talk, or if you have any questions with it. It's a very our main thing is a horse barn.
Okay. Any board members have any questions or anything about this project?
I can tell you, we're not getting rid of any trees. That's a good thing.
I have a question.
Yes.
What's the square footage now? I haven't seen the plan for the guest house workshop garage. So, I mean, you went from 1,200 square feet. What are we looking at now?
Yeah, the footprint will be the same. We're allowed to have a 600 square foot guest house. It's 2 bedrooms, no kitchen. So it just has a sink and a microwave and a bathroom. And then our workshop, I can pull that floor plan up. So we have 2 bedrooms, kind of a living area, garage, and then a workshop out back with another restroom. So it is the same square footage as before, but we just wanted to keep it in the same footprint.
Thank you. Larry, Sue has her hand raised.
Okay,
Yeah,
yes,
I don't-
Sue, go ahead.
Thank you. You guys are on a well, right?
Yes.
So what kind of water usage is all of this going to incur?
I don't know. I mean, we have 2 restrooms in here, and then the horses. So for the horses, it'd be water and washing down the horses. But I mean, this is the guest house isn't occupied all the time. So Jim's going to have family come and stay.
Mhm.
So I do not know. We didn't get to that point yet. We're just trying to submit for the minor use permit, and our minor use permit is only for the horse barn, because all these other uses are allowed uses in the zone.
Okay, thank you. Lynette has her hand up.
Go ahead, Lynette.
I need to unmute her. Lynette, please unmute. Thank you.
Thank you. I understand that this property is outside of the water basin. I tried to overlay what the Basin Management Committee has deemed our basin. And this property seems to be out of the basin. It's not even in the fringe zone. Is that anything you're aware of or you could talk to?
No, I don't know the answer to that question. I was hoping to have Kip here from the county, but he couldn't make it tonight. So no, I do not know the answer to that.
Thanks.
And then Julie has her hand up. Julie, please unmute.
Hi again. Can you hear me?
Mhm.
All right. So Lynette, I'm pretty sure you're right. This is not in our basin. And I didn't pull up the map, but on the other side of the hill inside Clark Valley is not in our basin. So I think our comments can only be narrow on, you know, the square footage and heights and setbacks and those kinds of things. But as far as water goes, they shouldn't have to do any water offsets. I think it's a lovely plan. I'm sure you enjoy living there, and that's why you want to make it nice for your family and your sport. So I'm totally supportive of it.
Thank you for that, Julie.
Okay. Anyone else on the board have any questions or comments? I see Robin got a
Yes,
hand up.
I did pull up the plan and the map, and I agree. It is outside the basin management area and the fringe zone. One thing is I'm learning about water and how this works is, this is just a general question. I understand our applicants aren't necessarily going to have the answer, but what's the consideration of that nearby aquifer and the way that valley might drain into Los Osos Valley and affect us? So those are the kind of questions that I'm going to be looking in the future for answers to.
Yeah, I don't know how to answer any of that. Yeah, that's not my area for the aquifers and anything else and drainage patterns of that valley. I just know it's a beautiful valley and beautiful view from up top.
Let's see, Julie has her hand.
I just wanted to just touch on the water and back to whatever the laws are at the time of approval will be what this project has to comply with. And as far as plumbing code, this project will have to comply with the county's code for plumbing. And in this instance, my recollection is that it'll still have to have low flow fixtures and, you know, be somewhat state of the art. Nobody wants to waste water. So I don't know anything about the drainage up there, but I'm sure the project's going to be efficient as far as its water use. That's all.
Yes, I agree with Julie. We will meet all the codes that are in place at the time, so the plumbing codes and any other codes from the county that we have to abide by.
And Larry, Sue has her hand up.
Okay, go ahead, Sue.
Thanks. I just have a question, Robert. It would be really interesting for us if you could maybe, before you get to Locac, if you could talk to the county about these questions that Robin was asking, just about how the adjacent basin works with ours or doesn't work with ours. mean, it might be a learning experience for us if you could kind of find that kind of stuff out.
Okay,
I don't know.
I will ask the county about that.
Thank you.
I see Chris Eisler has his hand up.
Hello, good evening, everybody. I'm Chris Isler, CRI and Associates General Contracting. I'm the contractor on Mr. Muscarella's project. I'd like to shed a little light on the aquifer. The Regional Water Quality Control Board has done studies and has given us our basin and our fringe area. And being outside the fringe area has put us outside of any buffer or cross usage, and the water basin in Clark Valley is at a different stratus and a different level than the aquifer that feeds Los Osos. So if that helps at all, I just wanted to clear that up. There's a reason that the basin is set up with a fringe that they've built in that buffer to assure that the two don't cross use each other.
Thank you.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay, going to open this up to the public now. Does public have any questions or comments about this project?
Patrick McGibney.
Go ahead, Patrick.
Thank you. Well, I'm not going to really comment a lot on this one. We're going to be looking into it a lot more than just for tonight. But I would suggest that Robert change the proposed site plan title on it, where it says the Clark Valley Road ADU and Horse Barn. So you might change that back to guest house. Also, I'd like to remind everybody that Los Osos Creek runs right through there, and that is what helps feed the aquifer that is there. And it also comes down into our aquifer and helps feed that. And that is an area that is in dire need of water. So, you know, even though it's a different aquifer, it is being fed by the Los Osos Creek, which we depend on also in many ways. So just wanted to make those comments. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments or questions from members of the public? And if, oh, there's Chris again. Go ahead, Chris.
Sorry, I muted you.
Oh, there we go. The creek does run through Clark Valley. However, the water in the creek is not what we draw water from. The aquifer that the well taps into is far below that. Any water running through the creek pretty much ends up in the ocean. So we're not really draining out of that aquifer or the aquifer for Los Osos Valley.
Okay.
And we have Julie.
I was just ready to make a motion.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Julie.
I move recommendation of approval to on to the Locac meeting.
I'll second.
Can you go down the
Okay.
list again, Larry, just so that I can make sure we get everybody?
Okay. I'm first, Larry Bender, in favor. Lynette,
Yes.
Yael,
Yes.
okay, Sue,
I'm going to abstain.
okay. Chris not here. Julie,
Yes.
okay, Lindy,
You know what? She's probably muted.
oh,
There we go. Lindy, please unmute yourself.
or wave your hand or something.
I was gonna say yes, but I didn't get a couple questions. Basically, they list pasture, so I hope that there's, it's just a comment at this point. Hopefully there's no pasture raising going on during the drought, so. But I'll approve.
Okay, Robin,
Yes.
Okay. Did you get all that?
Yes, I got it all. 6
Okay,
yeses and
so
1
that's-
abstain.
Six yeses and 1 abstained. This will move on to our Locac meeting, again, the 28th of October, 7 o'clock at Zoom. And looks like it's got a very good recommendation there. Thanks very
Will it
much
go
for
on
showing up
consent?
tonight.
Great,
Will
thank
this go
you
on
all.
consent?
What?
Will this go on the consent calendar?
No. Just regular agenda.
Okay.
All right,
And
thank
our
you.
Okay, thank you guys. Thanks everybody. And moving on to our last project of the evening, 410 square foot addition to a single family residence. Tim Fletcher. Hi, Tim.
Hello. Yeah, Tim Beecher.
And
The
Mary
architect.
Hogue is here too. Sorry,
Oh,
Mary
hi,
Hogue.
Mary.
Thank you. Mary, you can unmute.
Say hi, Mom. Hi, this is Mary.
So you'd like to give us a quick description of your project here?
Yes. I wasn't aware that we're going to be showing drawings. I did bring some that I can hold up, but they're not very large. If I could just describe it verbally, would that suffice?
That's very fine. Very fine.
So the project is basically moving an existing kitchen into 243 square feet toward the backyard, toward the east. It would be the kitchen, and then moving along the laundry area from the garage to that same 243 square feet. We would be adding under the existing roof, there's a long porch on the street side. We're enclosing some of that area into the living room. And then we're moving the front door to center it more on the house to make the house more attractive looking and to function better with the new layout. And then in the back of the house on the east side, there are 2 bedrooms. We'd be adding a small extension. It's about 56 square feet, I think, of a reading room, and then adding in a bathroom to the southeast bedroom. And then in between those 2 areas, added to the east side of those 2 back bedrooms, would be a sunroom, a non-conditioned space. Now, the existing house has 2 small back-to-back bathrooms. And what we're proposing is to take the fixtures from one of those to put in our new proposed bathroom on the southeast side, and then essentially keep the 3 fixtures, but enlarge that room to include what is now the 2 bathrooms. So we're not adding any water fixtures at all. We're just moving them around. The roof is going to be changed, partially because it's in bad condition and it needs to be upgraded structurally. It doesn't have the proper type of roof sheathing. All of the windows are going to be upgraded to dual pane, and that's pretty much what we're doing, unless Mary had something to add to that.
Mary, can you unmute?
Go ahead. I have nothing to add.
but the roof has to be replaced because it was cement and built in 1973. So it's almost dissolved.
Okay. Are there any questions from any members of the board? Not seeing any questions. Oh, there's Patrick. I'm opening up to the public. Patrick, you got a question?
Well, Tim, from my understanding and looking at the plans are basically you're not adding a bathroom. You are taking 2 bathrooms and you're moving one of those bathrooms someplace else and enlarging the other bathroom. Is that correct? You just give me a nod on that.
That's correct.
Okay. Yeah. So I think it's a fine plan. I wish you best of luck with it.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments from the public?
Oh, Lindy, are you able to use the raise hand feature?
I am using it, but it's a clapping hand or a thumbs up. So I don't know what you're.
Are you on a PC or a Mac?
Mac.
A Mac. Can you hold down the Option key and then press the Y key? Option Y.
On my keyboard?
Uh-huh.
Go!
Yay! A bird.
I thought you said to hit reactions, so.
Well, that will work too, but this is the keystroke, so we've got it. I'm sorry that I missed you during the, when we were having the screen shared. I was just seeing a narrow panel on the side, so I missed you.
How to do it.
Okay.
I just wanted to say, it looks like a lovely project to me. It looks very exciting too for you. And I propose that we approve this project.
I'll second.
I'd like to make a thing of putting it on the consent agenda. Add that to thing. Is that okay, Lindy?
If we all approve it, it doesn't need to, right?
Correct.
Well, I'm saying put it on the consent agenda. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll second consent.
Yes. Okay. Let's vote for our last time here. I'm in favor. Lynette, you're in favor?
Yes, yes.
Yael?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Tricia's not here. Julie?
Yes.
Cindy, you're in favor. You started it. Robin?
Yes.
Okay. That's everyone who's here approved the project. Thank you very much. We still would like you to make Thursday's meeting on the 28th for Locac, but we did put it on the consent agenda. So, you know, unless somebody really has a problem with the project, you know, it should just go right through then.
Thank you very much.
Good night.
Okay, thank you very much. And if that's it, nobody else, gosh, we made this in good time. I'd like to adjourn the meeting for tonight. See you all at the Locac meeting in a couple of weeks. And then our next meeting, which we will have another 3 or 4 projects to go over. And then we got to talk about the holidays and stuff too.
God bless.
Yeah.
Okay. I approve.